Hi, everyone. Welcome to Kiki and Kibitz. It's Mary, and I'm here with this week's edition of 90 Days in 900 Seconds, The Other Way, Season 5, Episode 9, Sarper and the City. If I was going to give this episode a grade, I would give it a solid A minus. Why, may you ask? TJ's mom and her yelling her head off and all that drama. I'm going to get into it. But we haven't seen drama like that since Submit's mom. Those Indian mothers, they do not play. Let's set 900 seconds on the timer so I could get into it, guys. Okay, let's start off with Shekinah and Sarper. There is so much to get into with these two. Okay, Shekinah, she is meeting with her daughter's dad, Berto, to let him know that it is his turn to take over parenting, okay? Because apparently, Berto has sold his hotel in Costa Rica. He has been absent for the most part of his daughter's life. Even though he thinks that Shekinah has poor taste in men, and he tells Shekinah that he will be there for her when this relationship implodes, basically, because he thinks this whole thing is gonna like fall apart. Okay. But and Shekinah's like, I'm going to Turkey. This is what I want to do. I want our daughter to see me in a healthy relationship. And this guy Sarper, who's a playboy, who has slept with 2,500 women, and we're gonna get into this, okay? Is my destiny. And I'm moving to Turkey after only being with him a week and 2 dates in person. And yes, this is what I'm going to do. And my daughter is going to see that I am capable of having a healthy relationship after having a history of toxic relationships, including you, Berto. And now it's your turn to move back to the States and take over parenting. But our daughter is home from boarding school every 5 weeks for a week. So I will return every 5 weeks for a week to be there for her. And maybe it's your turn to come back. And Berto's like, yes, you have a point. And even though I think this relationship is going to implode, I will be there for you. And she gets all emotional and she's like, oh, thank you. And I'm sitting there thinking, I feel so bad for their daughter because between having a father who moved to Costa Rica and apparently bought a hotel and was living his best life during her formative years growing up, and now her mother who decided, at the age of 15 that she was going to move to Turkey and go move in with some guy. I'm just like, wow, so that's what I was thinking during that scene. So now we get to meet Sarper. Sarper is a former exotic dancer. Okay. He used to dance at bachelorette parties, and the brides would want to sleep with him. So he would sleep with the brides if they were pretty. He has slept with over 2,500 women, most of them one night stands. He's never been in a long-term relationship. Actually, on the second date he had with Shekinah, he had slept with 2 women that day, and he was really, really sick. Okay, so their first date was like a dream. Shekinah could see like the soft side of him. Okay, their second date, he tried to cancel on her because, like I said, he was already seeing 2 women that day. He wasn't feeling well, but Shekinah insisted. She insisted, guys, on going and taking care of him. And that kind of sealed the deal. And the sex was incredible. The 2 of them are whipped. Okay. That's my assessment. They're whipped. So he thought he was never going to see her again. Then she comes out to spend a week with him, and it was like a honeymoon. Yeah, I bet you they spent most of the time in bed. They are whipped. It is all about the sex. Okay. So now she's moving there to be with him. His friend, he's a personal trainer now. His friend that he's known for over 20 years can't believe it. Like, you are going to settle down. You, Mr. Playboy, going to settle down. And he's like, yes, I have been faithful for 79 days. Yes, you heard me correctly. 79 days. Let's give him a standing ovation, okay? Sarper. 79 days, dude. Congratulations. Woohoo. 79 days. He's been faithful for 79 whole days. Let's give him a gold star and a cookie. Okay? So, yeah. Let's see. He's going to do his best to give up his bad boy lifestyle. Woohoo. Okay. Julio and Kirsten. Julio, yeah, he decided now that his mom really needs him around. Maybe if he was open and honest with everyone in his life about his relationship, then maybe we wouldn't have these issues now, okay? Considering his mom didn't even know about his relationship with Kirsten until he brought her home and announced that he was moving. Like, maybe we could have avoided all of this until now. But, okay. So, because his mom was in the dark about his relationship until he brought Kirsten home and announced that he was moving to another country. And his mom was like, hold up, wait a minute. I did not know any of this was going on until you dropped the bomb on me at the dinner table. She sat him down and said, listen, dude, I need you. I need you around to help me with your brothers. Okay? So you cannot just move. You kept me in the dark this whole time. Maybe if he would have communicated, this whole thing could have went smoother. Okay? So now he's trying to tell Kirsten, listen, this is not going to work out. I can't move. My mom needs me. And you know what's really pissing me off? And it pissed her off as well. His whole cavalier attitude. He's just smiling, laughing. I'm sorry. He couldn't give a shit. And I'm sorry. He was not going to go and bawl his eyes out once they were done with the video call. Okay? He was in over his head. He was just looking for an excuse. Once he came back to the States and he saw his family and his friends, he missed Brentwood, New York, and decided he wanted to stay and was just looking for an excuse and didn't know how to tell her and should not have pinky promised her at the airport. He was a punk for doing that. Just saying. And I'm happy to see on social media that she is doing much better without him. She is living her best life, and I'm happy to see that. So, he's a punk. Just saying. Anyway, I'm going to move on to Mary and Brandan before I get to the good part with Kimberly and TJ. So, Mary and Brandan. Mary needs therapy. That is all I'm going to say. She does not need to be on the show. She needs serious therapy. She, in my opinion, is very manipulative. And she needs serious therapy. So Mary takes Brandan to her old house that was ruined by the typhoon. Her brother is now currently fixing it up. Okay? So this is the house that her grandparents were living in that was destroyed. And now this is why the grandparents are living in the house that Brandan built for himself and Mary. Okay? So Brandan is trying to explain to Mary that he has the equivalent of $330. Okay. And that is not going to pay the bills. He cannot work, I'm assuming, because he just stepped foot in the country. So he is asking Mary, can we come up with a solution together as a couple? Maybe can we ask your grandfather for a loan? Boom. Mary starts with the tears and practically having a panic attack. Whenever Brandan brings up something that she does not like, does not want to talk about, or confronts her with something, she starts crying and practically having a panic attack. Yes, I said it. She uses it for manipulation to get him to stop because she doesn't want to talk about it. She doesn't want to hear it. So if I cry and cry myself into a panic attack, he has no choice but to stop. Okay? So I understand where Brandan was coming from. What are we going to do? You're going to sell some necklaces. That's not going to make a lot of money. What are we going to do, Mary? We have to pay bills. I can't work. Can we ask for a loan? Like, do you have any other suggestions? And she's crying. Stop crying and let's talk as a couple. You know, he is here in a foreign country. He has $330 to his name. That is not going to get you guys anywhere. He has given so much money. He has built a house where your grandparents, and yes, we understand your grandparents have sacrificed a lot for you and your brother. Yes, we get that, Mary. Yes. But also, Brandan has sacrificed a lot himself. And yes, we get that the Filipino struggle and the American struggle is very different. I get that as well, Mary. I get that. But there is no I in T. If you and Brandan are going to be a couple, you need to figure things out together. You need to work together to find a solution. Crying yourself into a panic attack every time Brandan brings up a tough subject is not going to work. Okay? Especially, spoiler alert, that you guys are parents now. Crying yourself into a panic attack is not going to work. Okay? Being married, parents, you cannot cry, have a tantrum every time things start going tough. You need to put your big girl panties on and come up with a solution together. There is no I in T. So this is why I say Mary needs serious therapy because she's still a child. Whenever you confront her and try to talk to her about a serious subject, she cries. Like, come on. So after she practically cried herself into a panic attack, Brandan's like, listen to me. We need to figure this out. And they decided that they were not going to ask the grandparents for a loan, that they were going to figure this out amongst themselves. So let's see how this works out. So now we get to, in my opinion, the best part of this episode. So first, Kim and TJ are off to the wedding decorator, okay, at the venue to see what's going on because they're getting married in 2 days, and Kim has no idea what the venue looks like. And we all know Kim. Honestly, she could be a Karen, okay? She could nitpick at everything. So TJ's like really nervous. But before we even get there, Kim wants to drive. And TJ, bless his heart, lets her drive. Driving in India is nothing like driving in the States. And immediately, well, almost immediately, she hits another car and dents TJ's car. And TJ's like, when I got out to inspect my baby, my car, there was a dent in it. But I didn't want to fight with Kimberly, so I didn't say anything. Like, she even dented his car. She even hit, she even hit another car and dented his car, and he just, just didn't say anything. But the one thing I want to know is why the hell were the seats in his car covered in plastic like an old Italian lady's living room? Okay? This is what I want to fucking know. Why, TJ or Kim, if you're listening, could you guys send me a DM? Why the fuck did his car look like an old Italian lady's living room? So anyway, they get to the venue, and surprisingly, Kim is satisfied. Kim is said, because the pinks, the shade of pinks, it was okay. It was, she was okay with it. So TJ was like sighing in relief. He's like, okay, because I'm sort of nervous on how she could react the day of the wedding, because Kim wants perfection and everything. And the day of the wedding, something could go the way that she doesn't want it. And I don't know how she's going to react. But at the moment, he's breathing a sigh of relief. Well, he's not going to be relieved for long. So now the next scene, TJ's like, would you mind coming downstairs and talking with my family for a moment? Because we need to have a talk. And Kim is like, yeah, I know. Tension is still, there's tension in the air between me and Yash ever since he just walked away from the conversation that we were trying to have. And I have a feeling that Yash has been poisoning his parents. I feel this tension. So let's go downstairs and deal with it. But she's wearing jeans that are all cut out from like the knees down. So all of her skin's exposed, right? So she goes downstairs, she sits down, her skin's exposed in her jeans, and her mother-in-law to be immediately flips the fuck out and starts yelling in a language that she doesn't understand, which is the one situation she did not want to be in. And starts yelling, what is wrong with her? She's half naked. She's half naked in front of her father-in-law. What is wrong with her? She can't dress decent. And TJ's like, give her time to get used to her customs. And they're all talking in a language that she doesn't understand. And she's just sitting there looking. And then she says, her future mother-in-law to be says, she says, don't touch me. That's the one phrase she said in English. And then that's when Kim knew they were talking about her. And Yash is talking shit. And before you know it, everyone is yelling at each other. And Kim knows that they're talking about her. And she gets up and she leaves the room. But TJ's mom is going to fuck off. TJ's mom is like, we treated her like a daughter. She thinks that she could just come here and abuse us. Who does she think she is? Yash is sitting there. He is gloating. Because you could tell that he's been chirping. TJ's dad tries to speak up. TJ's mom is like, you shut up. I'm talking. And she is going off. She is like, I don't know who she thinks she is. I brought her into my home. I treated her like a daughter, and now she's abusing us. What does she think she is? And she is going off. So, Yash is not in favor of this marriage. Yash says that it has brought chaos to their home. I think Yash is a shit stirrer. I feel so bad for TJ. He just wants peace. You could tell he loves Kim so much. And next week does not look good. Okay? Kim looks like she's the fuck out of there. She says she does not deal with toxic environments. She grew up in one and she does not deal with it. So this does not look good. And I feel bad for TJ. So his mom went the fuck off. His mom went the fuck off. And we haven't seen a mom go off like that since the Mets mom. So it's been a while. It's been a while. So that's it for this week. Thank you for watching me. Please subscribe if you don't already. Please hit the like button and share my video with a friend or 10. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye.